Well, hello, folks. It's Jamie Oikle from runningrestaurants.com, where we give you the tips, tools, and techniques you need to run a more profitable and successful restaurant. Today, we've got another great one question with episode for you. Here we go. I'm here with Roger, and we have a one question with episode. And this one is about people that are not working out. Happens all the time, right? You have a staff member that you brought on, you thought they would be great, and it is not working out. You don't want to fire them right away, so what do you do? And Roger, I know you've dealt with this yourself when you ran your restaurants. What do you do with that person?
Well, it all starts when we used to hire new people, it would all start with not only just a basic job description that listed what we expected in their performance, but we also had something called a key results and key success factors sheet, which went a little bit beyond that showed them, what it would take in order for them to excel in that job, what personality traits, what kind of approach to the job, how they would get the most success out of the position. And we would go over that in the beginning. If they agreed to everything that was on the paper, what our expectations were, they signed the paper. And then if that performance deviated at any point, whether it was a minor infraction, something a little major, then we would revisit that sheet in what we would call a reset. So we would bring them into the office. You never discipline anyone in front of another team member. You bring them in for a little private meeting and say, hey, we originally agreed on X, and now your performance is kind of Y. Can you tell me, is there any particular reason for that? Are you having any troubles in your job? Is there anything we could do to help you get back on track with that performance that we saw for the first couple of weeks or whatever? And you listen and you hear what they say. And you can always tell whether they, had some sort of an issue and it's a temporary bump in the road, or if there's just, this person just isn't going to work out. But we always used to give people that benefit of the doubt, the second chance. And we would do the reset and we would say, hey, this is what we need from you in order for you to be a great team player, in order for you to do the job we expect from you, to continue to earn what we're paying you, kind of thing. And you can either do that, you can make that decision right now to get back on track, or maybe it's just best to part ways. And, it's one of those things where we would give them that decision. We would give them the benefit of the doubt if it was a minor infraction, and we'd go from there. And the reset was super, super successful for us. It helped out in a lot of cases. But, I've seen it so often where you get someone who looks good on paper, they say the right things in an interview, and then once you get them, they're just not what you thought they were. They're not there for the right reasons. They're just there to collect a paycheck. And that's a C player in my book. And we always found a way to get rid of the C players because they weren't building the team. They weren't there for the right reasons. They weren't giving great guest experiences. They really didn't care about plate presentations if they worked in the kitchen or whatever the basics of their job were. So then we would just say, hey, this just isn't working out. There's obvious to us that, you'd probably be a better fit somewhere else. And that's kind of how we handled it. And I think I mentioned to you in one of our other calls, we also had something that, once we built this dream team of A players, the C players just automatically feel like they don't fit, and they kind of weed themselves out. In the end of my business over the last several years before I sold, we rarely had to fire anyone because the A players would just sort of vote them off the island and make them feel very uncomfortable, and they would leave on their own. Because, it brings down the morale of the whole team unless everyone is an A player and you've got that chemistry of a staff. That's important.
Got it. Yeah, Roger, good tips there from Roger. And if you are in that situation, go ahead and hit the reset button with your staff, bring them in, have a meeting, talk about what can get better. You got to coach them up or you got to push them out. So there you go. One question with Roger from Restaurant Rockstars. You can find more about their stuff at restaurantrockstars.com. For more tips on marketing, operations, service, and people, you can find us at runningrestaurants.com. We'll see you next time.